Lastly, you have Wipro, that is the counter that is in focus in today's trading session and is part of BNSN Lens on back of that Q1 earnings that they reported. No doubt, Wipro is trading flat today after delivering the best ever quarter in Q1. While their revenues and profits beat 18-hour estimates, the IT major also went ahead and upgraded their Q2 revenue guidance after the robust growth that they posted in Q1. During the quarter, Wipro closed 8 large deals that resulted in $715 million in new orders for the company. Let's listen in to the MD and CEO of Wipro talk on the same and also talk about which verticals are actually seeing higher traction.
You know, it's always, I don't know, better indication of the market demand than looking at your evolution of your pipeline. And it's true that our pipeline has been growing significantly over the last quarters, over the last months even. And so from that standpoint, I think it's clear that we are seeing a demand. I think given the transformation journey a lot of our clients are going through, I think this demand will continue to remain for a while. So I think we have several quarters ahead of us of solid demand. Okay, that's all I can say at this point in time. I think it's also across sectors, frankly, and across geographies.
The last couple of days have been absolutely stellar for these IT companies, and Wipro, of course, to a certain extent, cooling off just a tad bit today. But I want to introduce our guests today. We've got Kunal Bothra as well as Sharmila Joshi joining in. Kunal, I want to start with you. Good morning to you. What do you think about Wipro? You know, notwithstanding the last couple of days, and that's obviously on account of the expectation of stellar results, which panned out. What do you think the charts are looking like for the near to medium term?
Good morning, Alex. Good to know that you're having a happy Friday. For the markets and for specifically for Wipro, I think it's been a brilliant chart. I've been tracking the stock very, very closely. From the time when the stock was at 275 or 280, when it had started to recover from those March 2020 lows, and I've been very bullish on the stock. So on the channel as well as on the same show, I've been reiterating quite a few times that Wipro has been one of the few classic turnaround picks from the IT pack, and the stock has a stronger headroom to move up higher from a longer term basis. And the charts are reciprocating exactly the same. As you can see that the stock is moving into I would call it as a fantastic uptrending channel. The reason why this channel is very important pattern, because you look at the consistent times the stock has taken supports and resistances close to this band. And then the recent one was just about 2 or 3 trading sessions back when the stock bounced off from those 520, 530-ish kind of support levels and marched up pretty well in the last few days. Now the headroom for the stock on the upside seems to be of even crossing about the 600, 625 levels in the near term as well. That's where the higher end of the upper end of the channel pattern resistance lies for Wipro. So very bullish on the stock from a longer term view, and I believe if the stock comes back to if any time the stock comes back to that support trend line, I think it becomes a very good buy at those levels.
All right, so that's Kunal's view coming in on Wipro. Like Kunal mentioned, he's a couple of times mentioned that he's pretty bullish on Wipro, and also resounding that particular sentiment right now, saying very bullish on the stocks. The chances that Wipro can go past the 600 to 625 levels in the near term as well. Sharmila, good morning. Are you also that bullish on Wipro? No doubt attrition is pretty high across the industry, and that's likely to have an impact on the margins going ahead. But despite that, do you think everything is fine with Wipro, the way how the new management is also leading the company?
Let me just say a couple of things before I get to Wipro. First of all, I think for the longest time, my 2 favorite sectors have been IT and pharma. Then number 2, I think within the IT space, probably in the frontline IT space, my least favorite stocks in that space is Wipro. And third thing is that what we're really seeing, over these last couple of weeks is that it's the mid-cap IT that, really seems to be taking a sort of the market by storm, and, they are the ones which are getting the better valuations, etc. Having said all that, I think, to come back to Wipro, this set of numbers was really fantastic. And I think the transformation that we've been waiting for is now beginning to show in the numbers. because they had a new management come in, and they had prior to that, I would say Wipro earnings used to be like the most lumpy of all the the 4 or 5 major ITs companies, and which is why probably it was my least favored stock. But now we've got a really stellar set of numbers, and you really need to see whether they can grow it from take it ahead from there. So I think, yes, completely, given the valuations the stock is trading at, there definitely seems to be room for an upside. Definitely, I think the negative, as you mentioned, is going to come from attrition for a whole host of companies, which is, according to me, good news in a way, because it means that the jobs are coming back and the jobs are in IT. But for the numbers, yes, I think even in this quarter, you saw the stress on the employee cost. So I think if you have the stock, definitely hold it. And if you want to buy new, just wait a little bit, because sometimes post the kind of run up you've seen, you may see the stock soften a little. But yes, I think you can definitely go ahead and even buy at current price if you're a long-term investor, because they're definitely now the indication is there that good things will come in terms of numbers for this company going ahead.